Sorry about that. I got cut off in the last video. I ran out of recording time, so I had to go back and delete some videos to free up memory space. So there is a part 3 to our segment on Northern European Baroque. We had been talking about this painting by Rubens, Henry IV receiving the portrait of Maria de' Medici from the Maria de' Medici series, and that was painted between 1621 and 25. Maria de' Medici had a series of portraits, or a series of sort of these kind of historic paintings in her life done by Rubens, and this is one of them where her portrait is being presented to her future king, her husband, the King of France. And we had started talking about this idea of marriage and love, and we had talked a little bit about arranged marriages. So to get back to the symbolism, there is a lot of symbolism related to this idea of love and marriage in a positive way. There are two figures, Hymen over here and then Cupid over here, and they sort of hover in the air presenting this portrait to Henry IV, the King of France. Hymen holds in his left hand a flaming torch over here, and symbolizing the ardor of love, while Cupid extols the virtues of the Medici princess. So he's like pointing, see how he's pointing to her and talking about, ooh, look at her, how beautiful she is. Cupid's arrow has hit its mark. The king is smitten. So you can sort of look at his gaze, and he seems like he's gazing up in gratitude. His left hand is extended as he expresses his delight for his bride-to-be. Here's another detail. This is the heavens, where the gods Jupiter and Juno, the king and queen of the Olympian gods, look down with approval, their own hands touching in a tender gesture of marital union. Jupiter's fierce eagle, you see right over here in the left corner, looks away from the couple and clenches its lightning bolt in its talons. In contrast, Juno's tamed peacock over here looks at the divine couple, while his mate cranes his neck to look at the portrait. A pink silk ribbon binds them together. So isn't that sweet? Another detail. At the feet of the king, two angels play with instruments of war. So do you see, these are like a shield. And love, and this idea is that love, who's represented by the angels, has disarmed war. Rubens was also known for his depiction of rolling mounds of flesh, like Titian, that Venetian artist, the high Venetian Renaissance artist we looked at too. And the term Rubenesque figures was coined because of his ability to paint flesh. So let's look at the portrait's whole composition. So, however, again, this was an arranged marriage. The match is about politics as well as love. Behind Henry stands the personification of France, wearing a blue silk garment embroidered with the gold fleur-de-lis, the coat of arms of the French monarchy, and an elaborate plumed helmet encircled by a gold crown. She gently touches Henry's shoulder and whispers in his ear, assuring him that the match with the Medici princess is indeed good for the kingdom. So this is what we're focusing on over here. France urges Henry to turn away from the field of battle, the aftermath which is visible in the burning town in the background. And attend to hearth and home, for domestic matters are no less important to the survival of the monarchy than military exploits. Henry obliges his helmet and shield, now the playthings of the two tender cherubs that lie at his feet. So again, this idea that he's disarmed war. It's kind of hard to see this, what they're talking about in the background, but I guess there's a burning city. There's also something called if you look at the pose of King Henry IV, it's a certain type of pose. It's called the Cavalier pose, Caviler. So this sort of very gentlemanly sort of pose, and it becomes a fixture in royal portrait painting, and we see it again in other depictions of royals and portraits. So again, this is a painting that combines historical events with allegory and mythology. Rubens is a Flemish painter, but painting for the Queen of France, so she had him imported. All right, that's the end of my segment. It was only 5 minutes. So our next segment, we are still in Baroque art. I know it seems like a long unit, and it is. So we have one more segment. We're going to be looking at Dutch Baroque art as well. So stay tuned.